And this last visit for me was quite a different experience because there were new projects involving women in the various small communities who are producing products for sale and to try to be somewhat self-sufficient within their community. And most of the work that we did this last batch of Cate students was involving some of those kinds of projects. It did involve some school improvements, which seems to be an ongoing situation for Los Ninos. And the other thing, of course, moving now out of Tijuana to Mexicali because of safety issues and the difficulties that we're having with crime in Tijuana seems to have forced Los Ninos to make a shift in their direction, put more emphasis in Mexicali. And I think, in fact, they're going to leave their casa or sell or get rid of their casa in Tijuana soon. So for me, it's just been watching this complete transition of an organization that started out as a food gathering, donations in Santa Barbara, taking food to Mexico, feeding children, then changing this so that the neighborhoods or the colonias were trying to become more self-sufficient, and that's the kind of transition I've seen. I think the same information is disseminated relative to the border issues, and we had different circumstances where our hosts were describing some of those elements, and we saw some of those elements, for instance, people being deported and having access to information at the border by a group of women connected to the church, and that's not the first time I'd seen that situation. I think the most interesting thing for me, again, is just the spirit that goes on in these neighborhoods and around these schools when, in fact, the government isn't doing very much to alleviate their problems, and so they need to connect with somebody like Los Ninos, and then Los Ninos uses their funds to help those schools and neighborhoods either produce income or produce facilities that makes it healthier for their kids or better for their kids or better schools for their kids or better playgrounds for their kids, etc. And so I think that's a much more practical and realistic kind of usage, because I think the Mexican government's just still ignoring the realities of how many people are at the border, how many more people will probably be at the border if our economy doesn't bounce back. And so it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. I certainly would like to go again, maybe not right away, but in a couple of years, let's say, see what happens.
Ahora,
so you have to try to move it away so I don't stop, okay? So before I go like this, you move it away. Okay? So, oh, good job! Oh!
oh, soy Lindsay. Lindsay.
Soy Sabroso.
Lindsay.
Me llamo Sabroso.
Lindsay.
They don't think that's funny.
No es un chiste. Es serioso. Me llamo Sabroso.
This year when I went to Mexicali, I remember just going to this store that this lady was selling bags and just different art crafts, and she was just, basically trying to help, provide for her family. And I just saw just how much, a dollar or two can make a difference, and how much, how much we make a difference just by going there and helping, people. I also remember how her face looked when I just paid for the bag, and she was like so excited and just ecstatic that that she was selling this, and I was really excited because I saw her 3 children that I was playing with that day playing soccer, and I saw just how much how her life was and their situation was, and I saw that what, my money's making a difference here.
One time for my warriors, my last smugglers, and all my buffalo soldiers. One time for my warriors, my heat carriers, and all my buffalo. Yo, one time for my warriors, my last smugglers, and all my buffalo soldiers. One time for my warriors, my heat carriers, and all my buffalo. She fool, you must be crazy. What is it you're trying to do? You cannot face me. I've been smoking on the pound and feeling hazy. For 5-0, I won't stop, they gotta chase me. Now make it more better for the cream. My music brings the cheddar, so what I mean. The seats in the ride is leather, the rims is clean. I change like the weather, now I'm the king. Yeah, yeah. One time for my warriors, my last smugglers, and all my buffalo soldiers. One time for my warriors, my heat carriers, and all my buffalo. Yeah. One time for my warriors, my last smugglers, and all my buffalo soldiers. One time for my warriors, my heat carriers, and all my buffalo. Now if you wanna find me, I'll be in Jamaica, smoked out in a black navigator, invading all the player haters high. Here comes the rover with the troops, decked out in armor fatigues and stomping on my black tin boots. So what? Now while you remixing punchlines I create, how you wanna battle me, huh? When you just a featherweight. Hey yo, you know how long I've been knocking out heavyweights. It's best you chill, meditate, find your space and own your place, because I'm like a disciple when I appear from the clouds. I get on stage, I grab the mic and then I bless the crowd. Blah, me and my soldiers, we gon' ride tonight. Get some of that, we gon' get high. Babylon riding slowly, I try for hold me. Want to prosecute die for my ganja. Babylon riding slowly, I try for hold me like they don't know